So I watched that Hideo Kojima documentary, Connecting Worlds, and it was a kind of mid. While Kojima is a fascinating man and artist who's made some of the most interesting pieces of art in the gaming medium, this doc doesn't really talk about that. It's a documentary of a bunch of Kojima's buddies hyping him up for 50 minutes while we get some interesting behind-the-scenes stuff for Death Stranding. This honestly feels like an hour-long Death Stranding commercial, which I like Death Stranding. I've been playing it through recently and was the reason I watched this to begin with. And the best stuff in the documentary is the behind-the-scenes of Death Stranding. But when it comes to discussing it, it's not them talking about the Strand system or the meaning of the game. It's them talking about how weird and unique the game is. Yo, look, I'm in the game. My buddy Kojima put me in the game. There's no talk at all about Metal Gear for, well, obvious legal reasons, but as a result of that, the most interesting parts of Kojima's life aren't talked about. How about when he was bullied through death threats into making MGS4? How about Konami using Yakuza tactics on him during MGS-V's insane development? What about him wanting to just cancel and delete MGS2 when 9/11 happened? Some of the craziest shit to ever happen to Kojima is just not talked about. This isn't a doc about Kojima's life, it's about his ego. The documentary begins with calling him the first video game auteur, which is a complete bullshit lie. Auteur theory applied to games is interesting and makes for an interesting discussion, especially when it comes to Kojima, because I consider him one of the few gaming auteurs that doesn't suck. But there were developers who could be classified as auteurs before Kojima put a guy under a cardboard box. Listen, I don't dislike Kojima. MGS-V is one of my favorite things ever, and I've been thinking about MGS2 a lot recently. Might even make a video about it, I don't know. But it's just dick sucking of him in this documentary. It's just annoying. Why is Grimes in this documentary? It doesn't really tell you that much about Kojima either. It's just, if you didn't know about Kojima before this, it's just, you wouldn't understand it at all. Take another self-serving documentary, Talking with Gods, the Grant Morrison doc. In that, we get a full telling of Morrison's life and why he is so beloved in his medium, featuring discussions of his entire career from a lot of very different individuals, and also telling insane stories about the dude. It explains to you as an audience member why this person is interesting and considered cool, instead of pointing a camera at a guy and saying, this guy is cool, isn't he? I'm not even saying the doc isn't well made. The doc is well made. It's very well shot and edited, and it's a really great commercial for Death Stranding. I mean, it's better than the other commercials. That I should make a video about the marketing for that, because it has some of the worst marketing I've ever seen for a game, and that's probably why people ended up hating it. But that's a whole other topic. Just look up the Death Stranding PS4 Pro commercial. Anyway, it's just kind of a waste of time, and it's disappointing because Kojima is someone who you could get an amazing doc out of. He has a fascinating life as a game developer, but this isn't what this is about. It's just a hype piece. I mean, watch it if you really, really like Hideo Kojima, but even if you're a Hideo Kojima superfan, you're not really going to get that much out of it. Anyway, 5 out of 10. Play Death Stranding. It's pretty good. Later. Oh yeah, Death Stranding's and Fall Guys. Did you know this?